Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I know this video is a little later, but there was just a lot of games to go through. I had work in the morning, had other stuff to do, but went through, try to go through every single game, try to find the best value possible for all the picks. International break, like I said, has always been a little tougher. It hasn't been bad, but it hasn't been good. Hopefully we can do a little better. And then there's also some MLS, which is the U.S. League, some games there as well. So like I said, there was just a lot of games to go through, and I did find the picks that I did like, so I'll just get straight into those. My first pick is Roland Salai to go higher than 1.5 shots playing away from home for Hungary going up against Germany. And while you might think, why are you taking any player away from home to Germany? Salai is just a shooter. I've taken him a lot last season when he played in the Bundesliga, and I guess it's a feeling. I just like him to go over against Germany, to go over that 1.5 shot mark. He averaged 2.72 per 90 in the league last season. He took 30 with his right, 16 with his left, and 10 headers. He's 5 foot 11 inches tall, and he actually wins 95% of his aerial duels. So if he's given the chance in the air, he's going to take those. He's also going to take it with either foot given the opportunity, which is what we like to see. And they actually played them in the Euros, which was like a couple months ago, 2 months ago. And the tournament was in Germany, so it was an away game for Hungary in general. And he went over in that game. All shots coming from regular play, he went over with 3 shots. We just need him to take 2. He's a good dribbler, so he can find his own chances as well. He can also get passes from his teammates like Sloboslai. And he's good at keeping the ball, so when he does get the ball, it's hard for oppositions to take it away from him because he is a tough player, so it's going to be hard for them to take it away from him. And Germany are weaker. Their defensive weak spot is on the counter attack because they're a high possession team. So whenever they lose the ball, teams that are good on the counter can find those opportunities, and that's what Hungary did and will likely do against Germany this time around. And Salah's going to be an integral part in that counter attack. Like I say, he's a pretty quick player, great dribbler, can hold the ball, and I want him to have, I think, just a little too low. I'm going to take my chances. I like him. I like Roland Salai to go higher than 1.5 shots. My next prop is Donja Malen to go higher than 2 shots playing at home for the Netherlands, going up against Bosnia. I just feel like at 2.01, it's a little too low. I feel like this mark should be at around the 2.5 mark. And 2, I think with that 0.0, you get, this is a safe spot, and I like it. He averaged 3.63 shots per 90 in the league last season, and he averaged 2.84 shots per 90 when he played in the Euros. He only had one full start where he played at least like 60-70 minutes. So I just think there was one, they were like kind of rotating the squad trying to find what fit, and 2, I just think he plays more minutes in this next game. He's fast, he's a good dribbler, he's a counter-attack threat against Bosnia, but even then, that counter-attack is just when they get those chances, they're likely to have high possession of the ball, which means more opportunity for him and the Netherlands to take those shots. Like I said, 2.0, I think it's just too low of a mark. This is the best game, best matchup they're going to have, especially at home in this group, because their other 2 games are Hungary and Germany. So it's the best matchup they're going to have. So they're going to have to be aggressive and try to get a good result against them. That's why I like Belgium with Openda. Same reason why I like Malen with the Netherlands. And Bosnia conceded 20 goals in 10 Euro qualification games, which is the reason why they didn't qualify. So they're a bad defensive team. So I just like this prop for a player like Malen that likes to shoot to go higher than 2 shots. My next prop is Patrick Schick to go higher than 2.5 shots playing away from home for Czechia, going up against Georgia. He averaged 3.38 shots per 90 in the Bundesliga, and he played 2 games in the Euros. One was against Portugal, really tough defense where he had none, and the other was against Georgia, which is who he's playing against today or tomorrow, whenever you watch this video. And he had 7 shots in that game. We just need him to take 3 of those. He's our main striker. He's great in the air. He's 6'1", wins 70% of his aerial duels. He's the target man for them. He's not really much of a he doesn't drop back and really play much with his teammates. They're more of trying to find him on the ball, which is good because Georgia's not a high possession team anyways. So Czechia, just like in the Euros, where they had 62% of the ball, will control the pace, and then we'll have more opportunities to find Schick. And he's a striker. He will get those opportunities. And I think he took 7 against them last game. I think 2.5 is just too low. I feel like it's because they're away from home, but they're overestimating Georgia, in my opinion. Yes, they're a good team, but that's mainly in the attack and defense. They're not really that good. If you look at the amount of shots that Georgia allowed to opponents in the Euros, they were really, really high. They gave Turkey 22, they gave Czechia 27, they gave Portugal 22, and they gave Spain 35. Most teams, even bad defenses, allow like 18 max, and they're allowing 20 plus on the high 20s every game. Czechia took 27, We just need him to take 3 of those. And Czechia has a pretty good team, so I like Patrick Schick to go higher than 2.5 shots. My next prop is actually a pepper play, and that's Bukayo Saka to go higher than 1.5 shots playing away from home for England, going up against Ireland. First of all, it's great value. I don't care how he played in the Euros. For a spice play at 1.5, I just like the value that you're getting here. I was looking at other players like Eze, but I'm just not 100% sure how the lineups are going to go, and I want to try to avoid DMPs. And just plays that aren't going to count. So I might add him maybe later on if he's confirmed in the lineup. But he's one of those England untouchables that his mark is secure. There's nobody on that right-hand side that, in my opinion, should overtake him and will overtake him. He's just the best player on the right that England's going to have, and I expect him to play there again. Yeah, it was 3.49 so far in 3 games that he's played so far in the league. And he averaged 3.31 last season. And the reason why I feel like this is low is because he took 8 shots in 7 games in the Euros. He played much more as a playmaker there, but England didn't win. So I expect them to go back to how they were playing in the Euro qualification. And there, he took 18 shots in 7 games, 1 coming off the bench, which averaged to 3.28 shots per 90. So he took way more shots in those qualification games, and I expect him to be a little more aggressive in this game, especially because he's in form and been shooting a lot in the Premier League. Like I said, I expect more of that type of play against an Ireland team who conceded 10 goals in 8 games in qualification. So it's not like Ireland's a bad defensive team or anything, but they're not a good one either. And he's a great dribbler who plays on the right, likes to cut on his left and shoot those shots, which is what either that or just running down the flank. He plays as a quick, agile player and can take those shots as well. He's the best forward that England has that's in form right now. They have Harry Kane, yes, but he plays a lot more, drops deep, and as a playmaker for England. So I think Saka at 1.5, I think you're getting good value here for him to go higher than 1.5 shots. The next prop is Alex Bono to go higher than 2.5 saves, playing away from home for DC United, going up against Chicago. They've played each other 3 times this season, and he's gone over in 2 out of 3 games, which both of them were actually at DC, where he had 3 saves in those games. And DC are a below average defensive team away from home. They on average concede 13.9 shots, while Chicago take 13.2 shots at home, so almost a similar matchup. And of those shots, 4.5 shots are on target. We just need to save 3 of those. And Chicago play off the wing while DC are weak at defending the wings. So it's a pretty decent matchup for Chicago to take advantage of. And they have 2 decent attackers in Haile Selassie and Siupers. So I think especially for an away game, 2.5, it's just too low of a mark. And it's not like Chicago's a bad attacking team or anything. They're a little weaker on the defensive side, but on the attack, they're just bad at converting their chances, which if anything is good for us because that's just easier saves for Bono. So I think 2.5 is too low, so I like him to go higher than 2.5 saves. And then my last player prop, player that I've taken before and he always comes through for us, and that's Hector Herrera to go higher than 1.5 shots, playing at home for Houston, going up against LAFC. He goes from averaging 1 shot away from home all the way up to 2 shots away from at home, which is good for us. We need him to take 2, and they just played. Houston played away from home to LAFC on August 31st, which was like 2 weeks ago, and we went right under with 1, which is what he averages. But now he's at home, so stats say he's gonna take that second shot, and I like the odds that he does. LAFC concede on average 13.2 shots away from home, so it's not like they're a good defensive team. They're an average defensive team, and I like the Herrera to stay in the game and play full minutes because I expect this to be a close game. And like I said, they just played away. He took 1, and I like the odds that he takes 2 when he's playing at home against them. And he's gone over in his last 4 out of 5 away games. The one where he went under was the 5th game way back where he took 1. But in the last 4 home games that he's had, he's gone all over in all of them, taking 2 shots, 4 shots, 2 shots, and 3 shots. He's their set piece taker, so if they get free kicks, he's going to be the one to take them. He's taking 17 shots with his right and 7 with his left. So 33% of the shots that he takes are with his weak foot, which is what we like to see because he's willing to take shots with either foot. And he loves to take long shots. 66% of the shots he's taken in the league have been from outside the box. 18 have been outside, 9 have been inside. So I just think this is a good prop to take at home. Usually this mark at home for him is at 2, but I think they're overestimating LAFC's defense. This is going to be a close game, so I expect them to stay in the game. So I like Hector Herrera to go higher than 1.5 shots. I want to give a quick shout out to my partner Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description. They'll match your first deposit up to, I believe right now it's $1,000. I also have the YouTube membership for those that are interested, for those that want to get the content out before anybody else, and just want to support the channel in any way possible. It's just a great way to support. I really appreciate everybody who has been joining that as well. And then I also have my other codes like my PrizePicks, my Fliff, which is where I post my moneyline plays, or the ones that I do post today will be at, and my Cashapp. So if you want to use those, I really much appreciate it, and I really want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. So I technically have 2 moneyline plays. The second one is going to be a little different, but for the first one, it's just a regular moneyline play, and that's a North Macedonia moneyline against Faroe Islands. Faroe Islands are just a really bad team in general in both attack and defense, and I think they're undervaluing North Macedonia because they're playing away from home and they're not a big country. The last competitive win that Faroe Islands have had was back in September of 2022. So 2 years ago was the last time they won a competitive match. And then ever since that game, they've played 8 more and have lost 6 out of those 8. 2 of those being draws. So they haven't even won since that time after that game. And North Macedonia still have decent leaders and decent attackers. They have Elmas, who plays in Leipzig. They have Bardi, who used to play in the Italian league, but now plays in Turkey, I believe, in Trabzonspor. And they still have Alessi, a nice young player that they have, and Bochum. And then they have a good experience in goal with Dimitrescu, who plays in Valencia, who used to play in Vallecano. So it's not like North Macedonia are just nobodies. They are still a decent attacking team who managed to score 10 goals in 8 group games in a group that had Italy, England, and Ukraine. So it's not like they're just a slouch. I think they're undervaluing this team. They're a good team, and they have a good matchup against the Faroe Islands, who's just a horrible team. So I like this. I like the North Macedonia money line against Faroe Islands. And then when it comes to this second slip, something that I'm going to try out. I know people have asked me to do this before in the past, and I just never really did it. But I'm gonna give this a shot. And when it comes to money lines, we're gonna do a little mini ladder challenge. It just depends how you guys want to play them. Depending if we start off good on a 2-3 day streak, we can go up to like 5 days and then reset, take out profits and restart. So it's up to you how you want to do this. $10, $20, whatever. We'll just say we'll start off with 10 because why not? It's the first time. But it's a plus 100 sub you can get on Fliff. Link is in the description if you want to download that app. It's a mobile app where I play all my money lines. All these slips and stuff are there. All these are in the MLS. And the first one is Vancouver draw versus Dallas. Dallas have only won 1 out of 13 away games and have conceded 25. Vancouver, on the other hand, have won or drawn 7 out of 11 at home. They scored 22 and have conceded 19. So it's not like they don't score. It's just that they are a little weaker on the defensive side. But they have a good matchup in Dallas. And this has actually gone over in their last 12 meetings against them at home. Vancouver has not lost against Dallas at home. The last time they did was back in 2022. So I think this is a good prop to take. The next one is Columbus to draw against Seattle. They've won or drawn 11 out of 12 at home and have only conceded 9 goals at home. And Seattle have only won 5 out of 14 away games, conceding 21. Columbus is the League Cup champions for a reason. They even played a lot of their bench players in this last game, and they still managed to win away from home. And they have a great attack with Cucho, Rossi. They have Arvson. They just have great players, great attack. So I like this prop. And then the last one is New England to draw against St. Louis. They've won or drawn 6 out of 13 at home. They've scored 13 and conceded 24. While their defense is bad, I like the matchup that they have against St. Louis, who have yet to win a single away game in 13 games. They conceded 34, so they average almost 3 goals conceded. So I think it's a great matchup for New England, who still have decent players with Carles Hill, which is a good playmaker, and their penalty taker, set piece taker, and they have either Vroni or Wood up top as striker, who are still decent. It's just Chicago just haven't been able to find their rhythm this season, but they have a great matchup in St. Louis, a team they've never played before, who have yet to win an away game. So that's the stuff that I like. Like I said, just a little a ladder challenge that I might start. Might not even have to be a ladder challenge. Might just be just a plus 100 slip that you guys can take. So let me know what you guys think about that. If I should keep those going or if I should just stick to the regular money line plays. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's picks. It was a 5 and 4 day. The props that hit in the video was Openda shots, Castagna passes, Belgium minus 1.5. So all the Belgian props hit. They came through for us. And then the 2 edit plays that I had in the YouTube description both hit as well. Magnan higher on saves. Even if he took him at the bump, he still hit. And then Johnson higher than 1.5 shots. I actually thought he had missed up until I checked the game like 30 minutes to an hour later, that I realized he hit in like the last couple seconds of the game, which is good for us. And then our misses was John in Iceland. He scored a goal. That was just the only shot he took, and he got subbed out, which was unfortunate. Araujo also only had one shot. Paraguay played better defense than what I thought. So both of those were hooks. And then France somehow lost at home 3-1 to Italy. I have no idea how that happened. I guarantee you nobody took Italy to win. It was just completely unexpected. And then Uruguay, again, I guess either I underestimated or Uruguay just underperformed against Paraguay. Paraguay didn't score, which is what I predicted, but Uruguay just couldn't find the back of the net. So it was just unfortunate hooks on that end, in general. But it was a 5-4 day, not a bad day, not a good day. Like I said, international games are just a lot harder to predict, and hopefully we can make up with these other international games with MLS games as well. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of that. Comment please, just to help boost the algorithm, and just send the video out to more people. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.